this is Russ. Hey, I'm back in the car again, sitting in the parking lot. Hey, there's no pickleball players. What time is it? It is 4 after 11. What's the weather? The weather is 52 degrees. Maybe that's why there's no pickleball players. It's a little cold. Yeah, this week has been a little chilly and rainy. Yeah. So yeah, no riding of the bikes this week. Yeah, I got some new stuff that came in too that I have to do some reviews for, but weather's not cooperating, so it's going to have to wait. So expect some new review coming out on the Russ is Right channel eventually. Eventually. Yep. Yeah, and there's a bike coming in. Stay tuned for that. Not really sure when I could release that one. I'll have to check with the company to find out when that release will be. It's not on their website right now, so I think until it actually releases on the website, I can't really show it. But it's sent to you sometimes earlier so that you can get everything ready, do your review of it, and then maybe coincide with the same time of their release on their website. Yeah, so sometimes that's how it works. So anyways, I was thinking this week I am playing bass at church, but I'm playing for the middle school kids and the high school kids. So you won't be able to watch it. They don't record those. But the adult services, they do. Here's an interesting story. Let me tell you an interesting story. I mentioned before, our church is fairly large. Yeah, it's getting in, if you count the kids and everything, we're getting in between, I would say between 1,000 to 1,200 people per week at this point. We do 2 services. Eventually, we may change to 3 services. Time will tell. We did a 3-service thing on Mother's Day, as I mentioned before. And we had quite a few people. So if this happens where we go to a 3-service a week, then that might be in the fall when that happens. Summertime, people go on vacation and things. Sometimes attendance drops a little bit. So if anything, it'll be the fall if we do it at all. Okay, but here's an interesting story. Right after the worship team always plays right in the beginning of the service, and right after we're done, usually one of the pastors will come up and they'll give you a question to ask your neighbor, somebody who's sitting next to you in the congregation, as an icebreaker, so you get to know new people, right? So so they usually give you, it's a question, something like, what's your favorite sports team, or something like, what are you doing this summer? Those type of things, a little icebreaker. So now Mrs. Wright usually sits in the congregation, but usually reserves me a seat so that when I'm done playing up on the stage, I come down and then I can sit next to her, right? So this has happened many times, okay? So I'll finish playing, whether it's guitar or keyboards or whatever, and then I'll come down and I'll join her, and she's usually already talking to whoever's sitting near her. It's usually new people you've never met before, right? And the church is fairly large, and you're not going to know everybody, so you're meeting new people. And they'll be talking, and within about, 2 or 3 minutes, I'm down already off the stage, and I walk over. And so many times I've had the new people ask me, "Oh, did you just get here? Just joining her now? Did you just get to church? Did you guys drive separately?" No, I was up on stage. I always think it's funny because they obviously don't recognize that you're up there, or they don't see you well enough, maybe. I don't know what it is, but we usually sit in the middle, right? And so it's not that hard to see the person, but many times I've noticed they don't even know you're playing. They hear you. They're hearing the music. But I think the focus usually is on the worship leader and whoever's singing. They're in the middle, right? If you're playing keyboards, you're off to the side. If you're playing guitar, you're kind of off to the side a little bit. So they don't really notice the rest of the musicians up there. I don't think. If it was an isolated case, I'd say, okay, this guy's not paying attention, but it happens a lot where they just don't recognize you. Now, a couple of them have recognized, well, oh yeah, I did see you one of those weeks, but I was just up there. How could you miss me? Big guy playing a keyboard, how could you miss me? Or big guy playing a guitar, you can't really miss me. But yeah, that kind of goes to show you that the focus is not you. It's whoever's in the middle, and maybe they're just thinking about God. I don't know, but they never really notice us. So, anyways, that's one little story. Tonight we are going to do the Culvers Night. I mentioned before that our church is getting a get-together thing for at Culver's restaurants in various locations, because the church is large enough that people come from all over. And so if you're in your area, you go to that one Culver, maybe you'll meet some new people, right? So we usually go to these things. I don't know if Mrs. Wright is going to be able to join us. She has some late meetings at work. So she says, if I'm not done by a certain time, just leave and go. Okay, and she'll probably won't go then. So anyway, I will definitely go. I have no excuse not to go. So anyways, usually when I go to these things, most people don't know who you are because you're meeting new people, unless there's some people at church who know you, and then they're at there, then of course, they know who you are. But new people, a lot of times they won't know. They'll usually ask you, how long have you been going to the church, and do you do anything at the church? Yeah, I play in the worship team, So sometimes I'll make that note, and then they will start noticing you because they're looking for you afterwards, right? So anyways, we do the Culver thing tonight. We pushed it off 1 week because of bad weather, and so tonight's the night. I will probably post this video the next day, so Friday. So you're probably gonna be seeing this on a Friday. So we would have done it the night before, okay? So I enjoy doing these get-together things with the new people or people that you haven't met before. Mrs. Wright has always said that, I can talk to just about anybody, which is true. I'll talk to strangers at Costco. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I enjoy meeting new people. So, anyways, so we'll do that tonight. Here's another story for you that's kind of funny. Again, church related. Sorry. But when we first started the church, okay, it's been about 4 years now, I think, since we've had the church now. Many of us came from another church. And then when this church started, many of us kind of know each other, but not everybody knows everybody, right? We attended another church prior to this where we really didn't know anybody. The church was even larger than our church now. And so we really kind of kept to ourselves. Mrs. Wright's family went there as well. We just kind of stayed together, but we didn't really meet anybody. So this time around, we says, with this new formation of this new church, we got to start getting to know the people, And but again, a lot of us come from that church, and so a lot of them know each other. And I think that's one of the reasons why the church does so well as a fairly new church, because everyone knows what they need to do in order to get the church to run properly, right? So anyways, in the beginning, when they first started, they had a thing called New to Church, right? New to our church. So if you're new to the church, they do a lunch, and you can go to the lunch and meet the pastors and also to meet some new people who are kind of in the same boat as you. You're brand new there, you want to meet some people. So they have like a get-together for lunch. And early on, when we first started, we didn't have the facility that we have now because we were meeting in a park district building, So we would go to a restaurant. It was usually a pizza restaurant, not too far away. So I remember going to this because I was fairly new to the church at that time. I mean, not new to everybody else in the sense that, I may have known one or two people, but I knew the pastor, from a long time. But I don't even think the pastor even knew who I was because he can't meet everybody either. But we attended his church for many years, right? So, anyways, I went to one of these things, and Mrs. Wright hadn't started going to the church yet. Because it was during right after COVID, and she didn't feel comfortable going there until COVID would settle down a little bit. But I went there because I wanted to join the worship team and help out in that sense. Let me check. Sorry. Okay. Just checking messages there. And so the new to the church luncheon I went to for the first time, and it was a pizza place, which of course I enjoyed because I like pizza. And so I met some people and it was great. So the next time they had this, it was like a month or two later, they had another luncheon. If you're new to the church, you can go to this luncheon. Yeah, I went. I mean, technically I'm not new to church at that point. I'm playing on the worship team, but I went. Yeah, because I like pizza too, right? But I wanted to meet people because a lot of times I wasn't meeting people. At that time, I was playing on worship team more often than not because we didn't have lots of musicians then, and so I was on the rotation more often. Now, we're lucky if we play once a month because there's so many people on the team that, we rotate the musicians. So anyway, so I went to the lunch again, because I like pizza. So then the third time, you can see where this is going. They had a new to church event at a pizza place. So I went to that too. So I had to mention, I said, okay, you guys, I know you know that I'm not new to church, but I don't get to meet the people because if you're playing at the worship team and things, you don't really get to meet the people sometimes. And then after the church was done, because we met at a Park District building, we have to tear everything down too. Chairs come down, cables come down, all the mic cables, all that stuff has to be torn down and put away. So I helped there as well. So when you do that right after church is finished, you don't get to meet the people because you're doing stuff and trying to clean up and everything. So I only knew the people on the worship team really, and the sound engineers and guys like that, the support guys or the guys who were cleaning up. That's all I knew. I didn't know anybody else. So I kind of felt I wanted to go to these luncheons just so I can meet some of the people at the church, right? I don't do that anymore. They still have the new to church luncheon, but it's now held typically in the church building, and they cater it in because now we have our own facility, right? But yeah, I don't do that anymore. But I bet you anything. If I go there, people won't notice you anyways. Even if they saw you up on the stage, they don't recognize you. They hear you, they appreciate your playing, but they don't see who's actually doing that playing, is what I'm saying. I think the only person you would actually recognize would be the pastors and maybe the worship leader who's right in the middle, right, and singing and leading that time. So, yeah, we're kind of anonymous after we play. That's okay. Doesn't matter. So anyways, that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to Culvers Night. So I'm going to try to meet some new people and say hello and, see what they're up to. Yeah, it's kind of an overcast day. Overcast days are good for recording. Yeah, you don't have harsh sun hitting you, right? So just sitting here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other cars here besides myself. Some people just kind of sit in the car. Some others park it and they're walking around in the circle. This is where I usually ride around in a circle. But it's a little chilly. I wouldn't be out there walking around. Probably wouldn't be out there walking around anyway, even if it was a nice day. Anyways, that's basically all I have for you guys. I thought I'd share that with you. And I figured, nothing else is going on. I wanted to do a video. I tell you that I do look forward to the daily video, to make a video, but I'm so far ahead of you guys. I have videos for 2 or 3 weeks worth at this point. I keep pushing them. Anytime I push a video like today up the schedule, those other videos get pushed further and further back. So sometimes when you hear, oh, it's so-and-so weather today, it's not. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? But it's okay. I'd rather make the videos than not. And I usually don't release anything more than one video a day. Although I've been trying to experiment to see if releasing a More from Russ video at the same time as a Russ is Right video works. And I noticed there is usually less people watching the More from Russ video when I do that, because they'll watch the main video and they figure that that's it for the day. They don't notice that the More from Russ video is actually running. Others who hit the little bell icon will know that, okay, there's another video out there. And sometimes the recommended videos from YouTube will pop that up for you too. So you might see it. But if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, you either have to check the channel on a daily basis or you click that little bell icon. And so what will happen is the notification will tell you, okay, there's a new one from him, right? But you might know that it's usually almost daily there's a video from me, except for sometimes on Sunday. Although I have released a couple of videos on Sunday too, because like I said, I'm so far ahead of you guys. I figure I have nowhere to put this if I just do it one at a time. So I just throw it in on Sunday sometimes now too, because they've already been done. I just have to automatically have it released on that day. So look on Sundays sometimes, but it's not always on Sunday. More often than not, there probably won't be something on Sunday. But you can never tell. The Russ is Right videos are usually never on Sunday, but the More from Russ videos sometimes are. So, okay, that's all I have for you guys for today. Question for today, let me know if you've gone to any of these type of things where you've had to kind of meet new people, okay? And if you have any funny stories about meeting new people at some of these events, whether it's a church event or some other type of event where, you had to go, maybe it's an office thing, meet the new people who work at your office place or something, Let me know if you've had any awkward things there or any interesting stories about meeting new people that you've never met before and any strange things that have happened during that time. Anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.